Alright, so it wasn't that long ago now, almost a year ago, actually, pretty close, we're getting to the anniversary of it, I told you that the Scuf Infinity 4 PS was a great controller. Times have changed, things have happened, and after, going through countless, here, I'll grab them for you, thumbstick modules, because one little part inside here breaks, that I said, you know what, I've had enough. Now, I continued to repair it myself because sending it to Scuf is just extremely unlikely and extremely useless. And after the continuous fix, I've used to fix this thing at least 5 times a week. Sometimes were multiple nights, other times weren't. And that's just because the first thumbstick went and I refused to send it back. So a few times it might have been an issue of me, but at the same time, it's not worth it to send it back to Scuf because of it. So you might be wondering what my Scuf controller has to do with this video. Well, now that times have changed and I've experienced an issue from the day I bought my Scuf with the microphone jack not working, the headphone jack not working, to left thumbstick not sprinting, to a back paddle not working, and now, a year later, the right thumbstick drifting, I've decided I've had enough. And I went out and I got the Astro C40 tournament ready, it's the TR, controller. This controller, just by the feel, the look, and the button pressing, is far and above worth more than this Scuf could ever dream of being. So we're going to view the pros and cons a little bit of each controller, but spoiler alert, I've yet to find a con of this thing. So let's check it out. The Scuf Infinity 4 PS controller makes for a very easy adjustment to a custom controller, just because it's like, it's a standard PS4 controller. It's got 2 back paddles, which work fairly well when they work. My left one for a long time stopped working. Why that is, I have no idea. But they did. The hair trigger setup on this does not work well. I've had many issues with it trying to work, as it would just like continuously shoot endlessly, or it would do something else and do something else. But I experienced a lot of issues with it. So I wasn't a big fan of it. I do really like this style layout, hence why I didn't go with like the Vantage, or I can't remember what the other one is. Off the top of my head, I'll write it down here. Which is like, the other one's the same layout as this, but it's a little fatter, and I wasn't really about that. But in the end, I ended up going with an Astro, so I guess I did go a little fatter. Which, if you want the other controller, which I listed the name below, apparently that one has no issues because they've had that one for a long time and it's worked great. If you're into custom coloring and all that and choosing your colors, Scuf's the way to go for that, because the Astro comes in one single color, but it looks excellent. The Scuf thumbsticks wear out very, very fast. I think I'm on I got the ones that came with it. I got a blue set, I got a green set, I got a red set, and a factory set. I've had 5 thumbsticks on this thing in a year, 5 sets. That is absurd. If you look close enough, you might be able to see it. I don't know. I'm trying to aim it at the camera, but it's just, the Scuf's emblem's worn out. These red ones have actually lasted the longest of all of them, which is insane to me. The one thing I never did like about the Scuf is I could never get used to this right back paddle. I don't know why. I just didn't like the feel of it. I know some of my friends just take off one of the paddle and only use one, but that's up to them. That's their own thing to do. Now we'll talk about the other thing with Scuf, and this isn't directly related to mine, but one of my friends that I play Fortnite a lot with, or any other video game with, he immediately got his, and his left stick was having a similar issue to mine had, and his player was continuously walking backwards no matter what he did. He hasn't tried to fix it. He hasn't sent it out yet either. And I told him maybe he should try recalibrating the thumbstick a little bit, but he hasn't tried it. But you know how annoying it is to have your, use Fortnite for example, because that's what we play a lot, have your character continuously walking backwards. That seems absolutely absurd, especially for a controller you're going to pay $150, $160 for if you don't customize it, and it just shows up not working? That's kind of dicked if you ask me. One thing that Scuf really hit on the head is their remapping system. If you have the magnet, it works excellent. You can use a fridge magnet if you lose your EMR magnet, but their mapping system works excellent. I can't really complain about it. That was the biggest thing that always worked for me. Never had an issue with it. The white stained extremely poorly, or bad, which kind of expected. But yeah, that's minor. I will say that I feel like I'm taking this apart to clean it a lot, clean the insides out, because these thumbsticks wear out so aggressively and they just throw shit absolutely everywhere. Like, it's actually disgusting how easily these wear out and how all the grease and grime gets down inside. So that's my biggest complaints with it are that, you know, it just doesn't, like, it's cheaper feeling comparatively to this new Astro, and it just, I feel like it breaks a lot, and I feel like a lot of people have these issues. My other friend just told me that his Scuf works about 85% of the time, the other 15% it's not. So far everyone's asking me about this, so I've decided to make a video on it comparing the two. So now that we have a chance to look at the Astro C40, this controller it's heavier, which is, you know, it's whatever. It's got a better feel to it. It's like, it feels more solid, I guess, would be with the statement I would use for it. It just has a better feel. The moving modules is pretty cool. I, in fact, like them this way. I like the sticks together, and then this module up here. That's just how I am. I like having my thumbsticks right next to each other. Some people are more comfortable with the thumbstick up here and the D-pad down here, and that's fine. I don't play Xbox as much as I used to, so it'd probably be easier for me to play like that, but it's not a huge deal. The button presses, they just sound smooth. They click. Like, they just have a solid click, and I hope you can hear that. The rumbles, you can turn the rumbles completely off if you want, or you can have them crazy high. I just turned them back a little bit to like 70%. Not a huge deal, but because with Scuf you can remove the rumbles. Some people remove them for the lightweight, and other people leave them. I left them. The hair trigger setup on the Astro is top notch. It's absolutely top tier. Because you can do it just really on the fly. Like with the Scuf, here I'll show you. If you don't have a Scuf or you've never used one, you have to turn this little knob in the back. And maybe I'll get a pen or something to point this out, make it a little easier. Yeah. So you have this little knob back here, and you turn this little knob, and it shortens the throw of the stick, but then there's a small Allen wrench head in the top of the trigger. And when you do that, it plays with the adjustment, and it's absolutely crazy how almost poor it works most of the time, because like it almost feels like you can never get that perfect adjustment. It's just insane. But with the Astro, it's just on the fly, slide it up, and it shortens it. Slide it down, it goes long again. It works excellent, and honestly, this is one of my favorite things about this controller already. The buttons. The buttons on the rear are instead of paddles. I didn't know how I'd like it first, just because I was so adjusted to my paddles. And so far, the buttons, they're very comfortably placed. The controller sits perfect in my hands. My fingers roll just around the bend, just perfect with it. If you have a slightly bigger hand or a slightly smaller hand, I don't know how it'll affect you, but the buttons are big enough that you can press them, and they're not super sensitive, which is awesome. It felt like the Scufs every once in a while, like if you jerked wrong, you might hit it, because it might be very soft, but it's not. It's great. How to remap this controller? You have two options. The first option is when this is plugged in. Now this controller has to be wired, or it can be wireless, but you have a wireless dongle, which I'll bring out all this stuff in a minute. So you have a wireless dongle and a wire. The remapping on this is very simple, and you have two options. The first option is to hold this small button on the back. If I have my pen again, I've lost it, I put it back. There's a small button right here that you can see. And that button you hold for 5 seconds, and there's a light on the centerpiece right here, and that'll flash white. When that flashes white and the controller vibrates, you then click the button on the back you want to do, release it, and then tap the button you want to remap it to. So let's say my edit button in Fortnite is triangle. I would hold this for 5 seconds. I would click the right one because I use the left one for jump. I'd click the right button, let go, and then click the triangle button, and it would vibrate, and it would tell me that it's done. That's actually top tier. Now the other thing I have to take you to my computer screen for, but that's easy. Okay, so it's on this screen that you're going to see that I have my button laid out for, it's selected, it's called Fortnite. You can name it whatever you want. So I have it named Fortnite 01. So when you click View Profile, you're going to see here that you can remap every single button on this controller to do whatever you want. If I want to change X, I can change it to do L1, L3, left, right, up, down, R1, R3, X, triangle, square. I'm not going to do that because I just like where it is now, because it's, it's very standard. But if you want to change for like, so you like have shorter actions, like if you wanted triangle and X, and blah blah blah, so you can, all about minimizing. So you can put, say you wanted to switch X and triangle. You put triangle as your jump, and then put X as your whatever your triangle did. So that way, like if you're in Fortnite and you use triangle to edit, your edit could be X. It'd be right there, quick, easy to grab from your thumbstick. You can also, on this application, change how aggressive you want your, how quickly, like your dead zones essentially, how much the sensitivity is. My sensitivity is at the standard setting right now. I haven't really decided to change it. The triggers. Now you can see my right trigger has a really big dead zone. And that's because I was noticing, and you can see the throw. So you can see when I change the throw, like that's how far it goes with throw off, or with it on, and then with the throw off, it maxes out very easily. I noticed in Fortnite when I was driving, I had to turn the throw off, but that's also very adjustable, right over here in the right trigger sensitivity. Because when I'd go to drive a vehicle, I couldn't drive it. It would kind of like rev up, but it wouldn't move type thing. But so I had to change my right trigger sensitivity down a lot because I felt like if I brushed R2, because you can see how easy it moves. Like, I'm not even like flicking it. He will even like, we'll make a side by side right now. If I just do this, it would shoot or swing my pickaxe. It was really annoying. So I increased the dead zone a little bit. So that way I actually had to be like bang, bang, bang. Like I actually had to do a full throw. And that's perfectly fine. You can also change your audio here. Your equalizer, 2 decimals, 1 decimal, how high they go, hertz, blah, blah, blah. Your microphone out volume, your side tone, and your volume of the C40 speaker, which is right there. Take a look at that. You change your effects. This is where you can change your rumble intensity, the left intensity and the right intensity. With the LED brightness, mine is 100% because who doesn't love a good brightness? And then after you change things, all you gotta do is go up here and it'll say sync to controller. You click it and it syncs. It's perfectly ready to go. You unplug it, plug it into your PlayStation, and you are rolling. Another thing that's huge about this is you can have 2 profiles saved on this controller. So profile 1, the button for this is right up here. Switch to me, Alden. Is right up here. And you'll see there's 2 dots. And you can't really see it from here, but actually it signifies it here. 1 dot and 2 dot. Profile 1 and Profile 2. Profile 2 is currently unmapped for me. Profile 2 is when you can select a whole other button layout if you want to. And all you have to do is switch to it. You can switch to it mid-game, on the fly, and you'll just have a whole nother setup ready to roll. Now, since Astro offers all this technology, it makes it really hard to judge, or for these 2 controllers to be actually based at the same level, right? Like, it's insane. Now, this controller probably competes more with, like, the Vantage, but the Vantage is loaded with issues. Even still, they say one out of every 3 is absolutely atrociously problematic. And that's just not a good thing to have under your wing. Like, it's not a good load to carry around with you everywhere. It's like, oh yeah, Scuf controllers, like, they make pretty controllers, but they're broken constantly. And, oh, their Vantage, 1 out of every 3 has an issue. Like, you can't be having that, especially as a controller brand. And what is now becoming a pretty competitive market with Battle Beaver, and there's all kinds of them. Astro, I'm trying to think of all the ones off my head. Like, oh, man, Air Bear, he does a lot of controller reviews too. So if you have any other curious, I don't know him personally, and I've never even spoke with him, but he's definitely a person to check out if the Astro's too big for you, and the Scuf is just essentially too broken. So like I said, these 2 controllers can't really be judged fairly together, but the problem with this is that this is a $200 controller, all custom colored. This is a $200 controller as well. This controller so far has been fantastic. Everything's better about it than this. I don't know. This is just my take on it. There's going to be a lot of reviews about this Astro C40, but I really wanted to just do a head-to-head of a Scuf versus an Astro because this has been the biggest debate so far that I've seen on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Is every time Scuf posts, everyone's like, Astro's going to put you out of business here real quick as soon as the controller comes out. This controller just dropped yesterday, the 29th. Is that what the date was? Yes, it was, the 29th. I played with it all last night. I played with it all this morning. I'll be using it on all my live streams, so my Twitch link will be down in the description below if you want to check it out and see how the gameplay with it. So yeah, if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button down below. Be sure to comment and subscribe. I hope this video helps you decide something. I will heavily be recommending this Astro controller. This video is not sponsored. Hell, I wish it was, but this exact video never will be. Maybe someday I will get hooked up, you know, we never know. Anything is possible. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. I just realized after finishing filming this video, I never actually touched on what comes in this case. Well, there's nothing in here right now. But the box is pretty. And we could compare that to the Scuf box if I really wanted to. It's not like it's a big deal, but bang. Look at the little carry tab. Da-da-da. But you'll see it in a bunch of other people's videos because I'm sure you'll watch a bunch of them when you're trying to make up your mind. It comes in a little Astro carry case. You open this carry case up. And it comes up here with the charger. I don't know if you can see that. Charger's up here. 4-foot long charger. It comes with multiple thumbstick options. The tool to remove the little screws so you can swap your modules around and move them. And this is the dongle for the USB. If you like playing in wireless mode, I use wired anyway. It doesn't really matter to me because I sit right on top of my PlayStation. But yeah, I forgot to throw that in there, so I decided, hey, why not, you know, film it real quick, throw it in. Also, if you're curious about any of my other Scuf reviews when I talked about some issues I had, I'll be sure to link those down below, or they'll be all over the end screen. What's going on, bub? If you like this video, do yourself a favor and join the Awads squad by hitting the subscribe button down below. If you like vlogs or car stuff, go ahead and follow my other channel, All the Wadsworth. Link is in the description for that. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.